What is going on, everybody? Today I am headed up to Midway, Texas to meet up with a buddy of mine, Mr. Ryan Barr. He owns and operates the Bar Kennel. It's a retriever training kennel, so he takes young, unfinished, unready dogs and turns them into finished products, gun dogs that are ready to go hunt, ready to go retrieve ducks, retrieve geese. So today I'm headed up there. I'm going to spend the day with him and get him to walk us through everything that it takes for him to take in these young dogs and build them up into a finished product that's ready to go get these birds. So come along, let's do it. Just want to take a moment to give a big shout out to the sponsor of our channel, Sportsman Gear. This is a shirt, hat I'm wearing. Guys, if you haven't checked them out, I'm going to drop a link below in the description. Go check them out. They make quality hunting and fishing gear. They're a small Louisiana company, but they're rapidly growing. I tell everybody it's quality gear at a fraction of the cost of some of the other big players in the fishing and hunting apparel industry. It's great gear. People ask me all the time, they say, what's the quality like? Are you sacrificing quality with that lower price than other players in the game? And I'll tell you the same thing that I tell everybody. And I wore their hunting gear last year in -9 degrees while duck hunting, and it performed phenomenally. So I wore their gear all last season. I have not been disappointed yet. It is great quality gear. Guys, be sure to check them out. You can use code LEWIS, L-E-W-I-S, my last name, at checkout and get you a little discount on their gear. So y'all check them out. Good quality gear from Sportsman Gear. All right, now that I'm properly loaded up on the Buc-ee's staples, caffeine, beef jerky, and fuel, ready to go. So let's do it. What's up, man? What's up?
Busy morning. Got
Yeah.
a dog in labor. Dustin's loading the dogs. We're gonna go train this field down the road while the wife has some puppies. So let's get it.
Heck yeah.
What's going on, guys? This is Ryan Barr with the Bar Kennel. We're out here today running a hunt test setup. What we got is a little bit of concept here, teaching dogs to push through old fall and scent. We're throwing this short bird right here, coming out left to right. We're knowing off of it. We're running through these decoys into that water, and there's a white pole down there. We're just teaching this. This isn't, we're giving them a little aid with the white pole because we're teaching. And what we've done prior to this is we've thrown dead ducks in those decoys today for scent. So the dog has to push through that scent, get the blind, come back, pick this short bird up, and then we're going over here to this holding blind. We're throwing this bird left to right also down the foot of that hill. Hit the water, come back up, pick it up. That's our setup for today. No bird here. 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 Blind. Blind. Good, right there. Back. 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 Good. Back. So one thing about this dog specifically, he hates long water entries. Hates them. I don't know why, it's just his weakness. Every dog has one, that's his. So you could tell, I don't know if you were videoing the dog or not, but you could tell he was popping. He was basically sitting before I blew the whistle. He's nervous. He sees that waterway out there. He doesn't like it. So we just work through that and get him to go. And now he's swimming fine. And we might repeat this, we might not. I'll see how much dog's left whenever he comes back in. But that's that dog's weakness. That's why I kind of let him get away with a little more than the other dog.
You want to explain like why you told him no bird and then you...
Yeah, so this could be used for a hunting situation or a hunt test situation. Sometimes in hunt test situations, they'll do that. They'll throw a mark and tell you no off of it, run a blind. In a hunting situation, let's say we're hunting in this field, we shoot birds, boom, boom, boom. This one's crippled and it's getting away. Well, that dog didn't see that bird. This one's stone dead. I need to go pick that long bird up before it gets away. I'm gonna go send my dog for that long bird first. And then I'll come back and pick up this dead bird. So that dog needs to, number one, have the control to know off of that and do what I'm asking it to do. And number two, remember where this bird is without me having to handle him. Sit. Where's your mark? Okay. Where's your mark? Easy. Boss. So that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted him to check down. He just ran a long way and seen water, had to hit the water. There's water in the backdrop of this. I wanted him to check down, use his nose, here, and find that bird. Sit. Give. Sit. Now another reason, I make my dog sit on the mat when I hang birds. So I make him sit here as a remote sit. It's just an obedience thing. When I say sit, I want my dog to sit. I don't want him following me back and forth. I want him to sit right there.
Some trainers use sit and stay. You use sit as just sit means.
Yeah, so when I say sit, sit means don't move. It means put your butt on the ground until I tell you different. I don't use the stay command, just a personal thing. I just feel like when I say sit, I want that dog to sit down. Now this next mark we're throwing, from the dog's point of view, he cannot see where the gunner is at. So he's gonna see a glimpse of the bird and he's gonna have to push past this old fall, tight to this hay bale, hit that water and go get that bird. And it's probably a 110, 120 yard mark. Where's your mark? Good. Boss! I didn't really like the way he entered the water on this. Here, sit, sit. He took the path of least resistance and it put him in a bad spot coming out of the water to find the bird. So we're gonna repeat this. Some people were against repeating marks, I'm not. I want my dog, when they see this picture again, confident. They've seen this picture a million times, they know where to go. Give. Sit. Boss! So he went this way to catch more water, basically. So whenever he gets around there, this dog's an older dog. He's seen a million holding blinds. And he cannot see it until he gets around this hay bale. So he got around this hay bale and said, there's the holding blind. Okay, got to be a duck somewhere over there. And then if you can look at him now, he's in a good spot right here. Now he's got the bird. He put himself in a good spot. hand signals is a long distance obedience session. When I blow the whistle, that means sit. When I give you a left, a right, or a back, that means take that direction. Here, sit. He had to pee. Here, come here. Go potty. Hey, give. Go potty. Go potty. No, go potty. He still wants that bird that's right there. All it is a long distance obedience session. Go where I tell you to go and do what I tell you to do at a distance. If you don't know where the bird's at, I know where the bird's at. I'm trying to tell you where the bird's at is what hand signals are. Here, sit. Where's your mark? Cane. And right here, I'm letting him hunt. I want him to use that nose like he just did right there and find that bird. I want 50 visual, 50 nose on something like this.
What's the reason?
It's tall cover. It's not here. It's not black and white. You really got to pee. It's not black and white. I need him to dig that bird out of that cover. Here, sit. Give. Sit down. Sit. Cane! Where's it at, buddy? Find it, find it, find it. There it is. No, that's fine. That was good enough. So these dogs right here that I've ran thus far are my advanced dogs. Not every dog starts out like this. Here in a minute, I'll show you some baby dogs and kind of how we get them used to the field. Some of these dogs, it's their first day in the field. So kind of go over some of that with y'all too.
So the dog Ryan's getting out of the truck right now is actually my dog. This is Murphy. It's one of my Goldens. And he's been with him for about a year now. They've been working on some advanced stuff. So you want to kind of touch on where he's at?
Yeah, so Murphy is running senior level stuff. He's starting to handle a little bit. He's running some nice blinds, marking well, just getting him ready for hunt test stuff now, different situations. He's a good hunting dog. Now we're just getting ready for the big leagues.
What's kind of the benefit of hunt tests?
Breeding for you is breeding. You know, you want to breed these dogs, so we need to prove that these dogs can do the work at this level. And what these hunt tests show is, you know, hey, my dog can do this work. It's mature enough, it's marking enough, its blinds are good enough to do that level of work. And there's different levels. There's junior, senior, master in the AKC side of it, and then on the HRC side of it, there's started, seasoned, and finished. And right now this dog's at about a season level. We're getting ready to kind of transition into some senior level stuff, which is a little harder. And then we'll probably end up having some puppies out of this dude before too long.
And so those are kind of just accomplishment levels that tell a potential buyer on a puppy that, hey, you know, the parents are this accomplished.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly right. All right, you ready to go, Murph? Ready to go, Murph? I'm gonna actually let him pick this mark up first, here, just to give him some momentum booster. Here. Murphy! No. Back. We're gonna repeat it. You thought that was a setup, didn't you? Come here. You okay? Come here. Ooh, that sucker's nasty. Come here. Sit. Murphy! So this is a dog you don't see much in Texas. This is a Chesapeake Bay Retriever. One thing you probably notice on her is her coat's really, really thick. That's not all fat, I promise. Some trainers take them, some don't, but what you got to be aware of is the heat in Texas is so critical out here. I might not push her as hard as I push some of these labs that are been with me for a couple years. They're used to the heat, used to the cold, used to the heat. She's mainly a cold weather dog, so I got to be, aware of that when running a dog like this. Here, Casey.
Ready for another one. Be ready for another one. Hey, throw. Hey, throw.
You want to hit on that? Just tell them why you did that.
Yeah, it's just gunner help, so the dog's just not confident going that far. So what we do is we use the gunner to help, hey, and just use momentum, get him to build momentum.
So what inspired you to start the Bar Kennel? How'd you get your start?
Supply and demand. I had worked for a guide service for, 4 seasons or something like that, and trained my own dogs, and people liked my dogs. And a buddy asked me to train his dogs. 1 turned into 2, turned into 10, and then I looked down and I'm quitting my day job and we're training dogs full time.
How long have you been at it now?
We went pro in 21, but I've been training dogs since 19.
So 5 years.
Yeah, give or take.
Solid.
Yep.
So I know in the dog world, dog training, the retriever world, there's different methods, I guess, of training retrievers. What do you think sets you apart from other guys that are in the same game?
Man, I think I don't have a what would you call that? A set, this is how this dog's going to do it. Every dog's going to be like this. I talk to the client and ask them what they want. If you come to me and you're like, man, I shoot, I'm a guide, I'm going to be very blunt about that and say, look, man, I don't know if this dog can be a guide dog. Maybe we should try to find another dog. Or, hey, man, I shoot 15, 20 birds. This dog mainly is going to play with my kids, and when I go hunting I want it to go get some birds. Hey, we're going to adjust to that. Or I want a master dog. Okay, well, we're going to work towards that. Different clients have different goals for their dog, and I think a lot of trainers have one set way of doing things and they don't adjust to their clients.
So you kind of tailor your training to each dog and what their needs are in the market.
Yeah, 100%.
So kind of from start to finish, when somebody brings you a puppy or a young dog that has no training at all, what's the overall process on walking a dog through training?
First things first is I got to get that dog to know me. So we love on, like these 2 dogs in the back set, we literally just got them. They're going to ride with us and we're going to love on them for probably till the rest of the week and maybe play some fun fetch with them and get them coming to us, used to our schedule for a few days. And then we start with obedience. Foundation on a dog's everything. So we start obedient, heel, sit, stay. And we use a lot of treats training our dogs through obedience, especially food motivated dogs like labs. And we'll start playing fun bumpers, go get it, come back, introduce them to guns, shots in the field, introduce them to dead ducks, live ducks while we're doing that first month process. And a lot of times that's when I evaluate the dog, and those first 30 days, I'm really trying to communicate with the client that, hey, I think this dog's gonna do good, or hey, this dog's a little lower, let's keep going, but he might not be the hot to trot dog you're wanting. And then month 2, if everything goes good in month 1, we start the force fetch process, which includes holding, delivering the bird to hand, and understanding collar pressure, because we do use e-collars.
So you want to touch on that, because I know that that's kind of a hot topic in the training world or the dog world in general.
Yeah.
What's your take on e-collars?
An e-collar, just like anything else, too much of it ain't good. It's a tool, and you use it as such. You don't. burning dogs and all the bad stuff you hear, you know, that's not, if that is taught correctly, you don't have those problems. When you teach a dog to sit and you use your leash and you pick up on the dog's head to make its butt hit the ground and you teach it to sit, okay, now we put a collar in the play instead of the pinch collar, low stimulation, sit, nick, sit, or continuous pressure, whichever way you do it. We use continuous pressure, but it's not, when somebody says continuous pressure, people are thinking, oh, my dog's just getting electrocuted. I can put that collar in your hand, and I do it to most people to let them realize what their dog's feeling on their neck. It's not, you know, the crazy, it ain't none of that. It's step by step, little by little, and reinforcing things. You could look at a collar as more or less of a polishing tool than a teaching tool. That's how I like to look at it.
Yeah, makes sense. So after you get the dog in collar condition, then what's the next step?
So normally during force fetch, we're collar conditioning, teaching the dog to fetch when told with the collar. And then we go into starting to steady the dog. So we're throwing marks, short with a bird boy, teaching the dog to pick it up, bringing it back, delivering it to my hand. After that, some people go force fetch and they go force to pile. I don't do that. I want my dogs a little up, a little high. I want them happy to go. I want them to see why we've done what we've done. Get them running some marks, picking up marks good. Okay, we might start throwing some little doubles, and it's one of those things depending on the client. Does the client want a dog on hand signals? Does the client just want a dog to go get his ducks? Kind of one of those deals. So let's say the client doesn't want hand signals. They don't care nothing about that. They just want a dog to go get their ducks. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, we've already introduced the dog to gunfire in the field, which means the bird boy shooting with the boom cannon. Now, we're gonna start doing some bucket drills. We're gonna sit on a bucket, sling a gun around the dog, let him get used to following that, seeing that gun. We're gonna start throwing and shooting after they're steady, getting them steady to a gunshot. And then after we can shoot, if I can throw the bird, here they come, kill them, pow, 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 shoot 3 or 4 shells, they don't move, send them on their name, we're doing all right. You're about almost done with gun dog. And you know, we run them through decoys, water, land, all that stuff, shoot live flyers for them, all the fun stuff. And then you're done with the basic gun dog.
So if somebody brought you your typical dog, and granted all dogs are different, you know, they're probably going to require different levels of training. Somebody brings you the average dog, the average lab, no training at all as a young puppy. What do you typically tell them? How long is it going to take for you to take that dog and make it ready to hunt?
I say 4 to 5 months. Reason being is I've had some dogs do it in 3 months. We look like rock stars if we do it in 3. I've had some dogs do it in 6 months. You know, it just, like you said, depends on the dog.
And then you do an advanced program as well if people want to come back for it?
Absolutely, yeah. So we do, you know, advanced gun work, hand signals, blinds, multiple marks, all that stuff. Because there's advanced gun dog, which is more hunting style, and then there's advanced hunt test.
And what's the difference on those when you're training dogs?
When I'm doing hunt test stuff, I'm not going to go out there and set out 100 snow goose decoys for that dog to run through. Granted, if that dog hunts, we'll do that, but if we're getting ready for Master National or the Grand, you know, I need that dog to learn to push those decoys, yes, but it's a different style of training. Further marks, you know, further blinds, tighter corridors, you know, different concepts, kind of like what we worked on today in the field, pushing through that old fall, you know, different things. Granted, gun dogs need to do that too, but it's not as pressed for a hunting dog.
So kind of last question here. What's one piece of advice, if you could give it to the audience, what is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody that's getting ready to start with their first hunting dog, their first retriever?
I would either find a local pro to help you out, or I would find a platform or a program. That's what I was trying to say, a program. There's several good ones out there that don't require e-collar anymore, because an e-collar, like I said, can mess a dog up. So there's Cornerstone, stuff like that. They offer programs without that. And remember that it's just a dog. They're dogs. You got a 6-month-old dog out there, and you're trying to do blinds and 300 yards, you wouldn't let your 6-month-old kid do that. So just remember, they're just dogs, and that it needs to be fun. Have a good training attitude.
Take it one day at a time.
One day at a time, and leave your ego at the house. If your buddy's dog's doing better than you, don't compare apples to apples. Just train your dog. Train the dog that's in front of you.
Fair enough. All right, guys, that's it for today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.